to the TuVues podcast, our first podcast in the 2024 year. Excited to be with y'all. New beginnings, new chapters, new books for our lives. So let's make it a great one. Let's kick it off with this first dynamic duo podcast.
What up, it's your boys, Kev G, Dr. Davis, man, out here just trying to do the best we can with this podcast, have fun, joke around a little bit, and also be a little bit serious now and again, you feel me?
Yes, sir. All right, so what you got going for us today?
Man, what I got out here is just negative degree weather. That's what we got.
Man, it's down. It's 16 degrees down here in Texas. So yeah, we feeling it, man. But we got to start on the podcast real quick. Y'all see what color I'm wearing today? The amazing blue. Just want to say congratulations to the 2024 national champion Michigan Wolverines, and just want to say who got it better than us? Nobody. That's right, baby.
Man,
and Kevin, last time they had one. For the longest time.
You're the Matrix. You are the Matrix.
Hey, that video about the Cowboys is hilarious, man. Why Green Bay do them like that? This is supposed to be their year. This is the Cowboy fans were saying, man. But congratulations to my Michigan Wolverines, man. It's 26 years since we won the championship. Just excited. This was our year. Put all the haters and speculations out to the side, and we got it done, man. We got it done on our talent and our teamwork and our familyhood, man. So congratulations to the 2024 Michigan Wolverines.
Hey, nobody cares.
Man, I'm just saying, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We champions. Check this out. Just quick fact before we go, man. Michigan was the last team to win a championship before the BCS, and the last team to win before they got out of the 14 BCS. Just saying, man. That's how we do it, man. Go blue.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why is that special?
It's special because that's what we do. We gonna make sure our names in the history books, regardless.
It's special because y'all not gonna win for a while. You know it. I
think we got. I mean, we got a lot of people going to the draft, but I think we got some talent backing them up. So I think we good. I think we good for next year. I think we win the Big Ten at the minimum.
People going to the draft, and y'all got a coach leaving, man. Y'all ain't gonna be as good as you think he is. I can't talk, man, because we ain't win. But I'm not gonna congratulate them. Did I pick them to win the game? Yes. Did I root for them? No. For everybody that's wondering, no. Yeah, I picked them to win the game. I didn't root for them. I'm just a football head. I'm a coach. I thought they had a better team than Washington. That's simple as that. Didn't root for them, but I thought they would win the game.
Just say congratulations, man. Just once to Michigan.
No,
just once. Just once,
no.
bro. Just say it once.
No.
Come on, man. Just a hater, man. All right, man. Let's jump into this, man. We're gonna kick it off. Y'all know how we kick it off our first little segment with Kev G's top five. Let's get it.
Here we go, man. KLG's top five. Y'all know what it's about, man. Top five things be depending on the subject. Top five of our rating of what that means. So today, man, we're gonna go top five lunches. Grade school, high school, coming up lunches, man. What was your favorite lunch? Favorite top five lunches coming up through school, man.
Fat boy
top
mode.
5 lunches, man. Straight up. We gotta do fat boy mode every other episode.
Yeah. You want me to kick it off?
Go ahead, man. Jump it off.
Yeah. So I ain't got an honorable mention of this because all mine legit, and man, just to let everybody know, man, we straight free reduced lunch, man. Those are the best lunches anyway, though. So free reduced lunch, I'm just gonna say my number 5, Kev, is the nachos, man. Even though it's a little cheap cheese with that little cheap beef on it. Man, them nachos was legit. So my number 5 gonna be the nachos, right? I got one on here I know you're not gonna have.
What's that?
The spaghetti and garlic bread is my number 4.
Oh, I forgot about spaghetti.
The spaghetti and garlic bread. You put the spaghetti on the garlic bread, folded like a sandwich. Yeah, boy.
Forgot about spaghetti and garlic bread.
All right. So that's my number 4. My number 3 is, and I made my number 3 and 4 could actually flip, but my number 3 right now is the hamburger and the oven baked fries. You remember they won.
No, easy. No,
that ain't even in your top 5.
Not the hamburger and fries, my friend. No, homie.
The pickle was the best part of the hamburger and the baked fries.
Yeah, the pickle was the best part, but no, bro, that ain't in my top 5, bro.
Yeah, that's
They're
my
my top
3.
five.
My number 2, I know you're gonna think I'm crazy, but my number 2 is the chicken sandwich and mashed potatoes.
Hey, I don't
The
think you
chicken
crazy. You
sandwich,
crazy.
the
No
chicken
gravy though,
sandwich
but
and mashed
man, you
potato.
crazy.
No, with gravy, bro. With
No, no
gravy.
gravy. No gravy on me.
And then my number 1, man, the triangle. I mean, the rectangle pizza, man. The rectangle pizza gonna be my number 1 forever. But you know when they stepped it up a bit is when it was good when it came out in the rectangle, but then when it really came out in the plastic and the cheese would stick to the plastic. Those,
Yeah.
those are the best ones, bro. Those are,
and the,
everybody
and the,
talk about them other ones.
yeah, and the sausages were a little bit bigger on that mug.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody talk about the original rectangle pieces, but the ones that
The
came in a
old
plastic
school.
wrapper,
The plastic for sure. For sure.
yeah,
For
boy.
shitting.
So let me run it down, man. So I got my nachos at 5, spaghetti and garlic bread at 4, the hamburger oven baked fries at 3, chicken sandwich and mashed potatoes at 2, and number 1 is the pizza, but specifically the pizza that came in the plastic, specifically. But both of them was good pizza regardless. But the square, just put the rectangle pizza period.
Okay. I don't know horrible list, man. I forgot about that spaghetti and garlic bread though, man. You boy, yeah. Yeah, that was righteous. That was righteous, man. But let me run my 5, man. KLG's top 5. That's why it's called KLG's top 5, because I'm always right. So here we go. Um
Oh,
my
hold
number
on, hold on.
five.
You always right. You're always right, but you to have Bernie Mac on your comics list. All right,
Why
go,
why
man.
why do we keep bringing this up, man? And we should talk about the whole that Cat Williams segment too.
Yeah.
That
Mm-hmm.
pretty like, yeah. My number 5, man, is gonna be tacos. The tacos, my friend. The tacos, throw that sauce on that mug, the little sour cream that came in that little cone package.
Okay,
My
I
boy.
got you.
Uh,
I
Number
got
4 is gonna be the chicken patties and mashed potatoes. That was fine. Man, put that mayonnaise on that
you.
bad.
Man. If you
Delicious.
man,
Delicious. Yeah, then I'm gonna roll with number 3. I'm gonna roll with the D line pizza, our D line pizza. We're going with the D line pizza as my number 3.
honorable mention.
Um, number 3 is my D line pizza. Number 2 is the free pizza, the packaged pizza. It's my number 2. Like it's my number 2 though. But my number 1 is a Nacho Grande, famo.
Yeah, Nacho Grande. That's the Nacho Grande was the
That's my
joint. Your
one.
top 5. Yeah, I get
That's
you on
my
that one.
one, the Nacho Grande. Hey, but all 5 of these, both lists, include if you add 6, you add that the mashed potato, no, the spaghetti and garlic bread. Hey, people thought we was poor in our neighborhood and all that. Bro, some of that food we had
It was
was
good.
still fine. Our lunches weren't like we had some bad lunches here and there. Like our lunches weren't like terrible. Maybe because of us, we didn't have much, so it's free. You know, but it's like pretty decent food. Now they're trying to go and be healthy now, which I get.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got vegetables and all that now. Cool. We ain't dealing with that. No green beans on my plate, homie. You feel me? Don't do
Hey,
it.
but I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this. People may think it's blasphemy. I would put that free reduced lunch chicken sandwich over any chicken sandwich in the game. Popeyes, McDonald's, anybody. I would put that chicken. I don't care if nobody. I would put that chicken over any other chicken sandwich in the game. No, it ain't. No,
Hey,
it probably
bro.
ain't real
Hey, bro.
chicken, but
Hey,
banging.
bro. Bro, you stretching a little bit, bro.
No,
You stretch a little,
bro,
a
I'm
little
not.
bit,
Hey,
bro.
I'm not even. Hey,
You
bro, I'm not
stretching a
even
little bit,
lying.
brother.
That's what. Hey,
Okay.
bro, that's with my heart. Over Chick-fil-A,
Hey,
all of them, bro. That's with my heart. I'm taking that chicken
hey,
sandwich.
let me tell you from my heart, you're stretching a little bit, brother. Hey, you telling me? Let's say you got like I think that mayonnaise is what set it apart for me. But you telling me if that was a Chick-fil-A sandwich instead of that sandwich, you Keith,
Hey, from my heart, yes,
man,
bro.
man,
Yes.
bro, you crazy.
Now, our lunch ladies and man cooked that with love, though. That chicken salad was a banger. Ask Kurt.
Yeah, you can say what you want, man. Ain't over no man. If I put some mayonnaise on that Chick-fil-A sandwich, but I done got Chick-fil-A
Nah,
sauce.
bro. Nah, bro. I'm taking the blame some of the menu high school special chicken and mashed potatoes.
I'm telling you, boy. And if you want to be real fat, man, you try a piece off that chicken, the bread that chicken off, you
Jimmy,
dip it in that mashed potato.
I'm trying to tell
Tell
you.
you, boy, you playing with me. You playing with me, boy. No, but
All
that
right,
nacho
man.
grande was fire though, bro.
Yeah. Now that's a fat boy top 5 right there.
Yeah, man. We should do Fat Boy Top 5 quite often, man. We do actually. We talk about food all
Because
the
we
time.
fat boys.
Hey, I'm trying to get right though. Cannons. All right, man. Let's get top five, man. Y'all do y'all list, man. We love to hear what y'all ate in y'all high schools, man. Every high school was different. Well, not really in state of Illinois. I think state of Illinois was kind of standard. But when it came to free and reduced, I mean, you had some private schools and all that that probably had other stuff, but I think more likely it was standard around state of Illinois. But what was your favorite though, man? What was your top? I got the taco grande. That wasn't even really a part of free and reduced, but and he got what the piece at his top. What was y'all top? Was that mashed potato at y'all top? Was that man that spaghetti and garlic bread though? Boy, I ain't gonna
Yours.
say about it. But yeah, man. So what's y'all top, man?
Yeah,
Let us know
boy.
what y'all top five is, man. Be fat boys like us, man, for just one episode. You feel me? All right, man. So y'all know what's next for us, man. We gotta do this. I'm just gonna go. Hey, Dr. Davis' dad joke, man. That's what it is. It's Dr.
Hey,
Davis' dad joke.
man. I told Kev G, man, my clip running empty, man. So if y'all got some dad jokes for me, man, send them to me, man. I need to laugh, man. So I just got 2 for you today, man. But I was talking to a friend, Kev, and they told me, dude, you gotta stop making these awful water jokes, bro. They said you got these awful. You always talking about water and the awful water jokes. So I just waved at them and said, sure. I know, G. I know.
Bro, are you
Hey, hold on.
serious?
Oh, all right. Let me try this one for you, then, kid. Let me try.
Bro,
Okay, that one.
bro.
I'm gonna give you this one. I'm gonna give you this one. Hey, man. But like you, it's
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Hey, man. So everybody trying to go on a diet, man. I'm trying to eat healthy, eat better, man. So, man. But every time, man, I try to eat healthy, bro. A chocolate bar just look at me and Snickers.
All right, y'all. And then- hey, y'all. That's Dr. Davis' dad joke for everybody for the day.
Hey, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
hey. But I
That's Dr.
need
Davis'
y'all.
dad.
Listen, y'all. I need y'all, man. My clip running empty, man. I need y'all.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna get up.
We know.
Hey,
We know.
hey. One day I'm gonna get on and do some movie reviews because y'all talking about y'all blew up Aquaman 2 like it was a thing, man.
Bro, Aquaman 2 was better than what you gave it credit for, bro. It was way
Absolutely
better than what
not.
you gave it credit for, bro. Way
I mean,
better.
one day I'm gonna break down why it isn't. Why it isn't even in the top 10 DC movies. I'm gonna break it down.
No, you ain't gonna do that later. Oh, oh, you need to tell us that top 10 DC list right now.
No, we were gonna talk about it, man. We got a whole topic to get to, but
Nah, nah. You
it
can
ain't in the
name
top 10.
keep you can name 10 DC movies better than that movie.
Hey, well, I'm
10.
gonna say this: of the movies that came out this year, Blue Beetle was better. Blue Beetle was better,
Blue
storyline and
Beetle was
everything.
no it was nowhere near as good as it could have been. Nowhere near
Storyline
as
and
good.
everything. No,
Bro,
I agree
hey,
with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. What as good as it could have
hey,
been, but it was better than Aquaman 2.
you can no longer be a movie critic.
Man, stop playing.
You're
I'm the
terrible.
greatest when it comes to movie critics.
Hold on, can you do this for me? Name five. Let's work with name five that's better than Aquaman 2. Name five.
No, you can't get me on the spot, but I can name. I can give you
Yeah,
10.
exactly.
Next show,
Exactly.
next show. I'm gonna give you next show. I'll give you 10. 10 better than
Okay,
Aquaman
no.
2.
Next show, there's gonna be the top five. Top five DC movies is gonna be
Okay,
next week.
let's
Next
do it.
podcast.
Cause
Next
I
podcast, top five DC
but
movies.
that's how I can tell you're not a movie critic. Because if you break down the cinematography, the storyline, the music, all that. There's no way you put Aquaman 2 in the top five. In
Keith,
the
name
top
another
five.
movie
No
besides
way.
Aquaman 1 that's had better cinematography than Aquaman 2. Who has
Wonder
better
Woman.
cinematography?
Wonder Woman.
Hey, we finna move on to the topic. We finna move on to the topic.
Wonder Woman
Because
is
you
arguably
tripping.
the best. Wonder Woman is arguably the best DC movie out. The first Wonder Woman is probably the best DC movie.
This man done lost Keith.
Okay, I'm gonna break it. And I'm gonna break down why. I'm gonna break down why.
Aquaman 1 was the best DC movie. Aquaman
Hey,
1.
listen.
Let's
I'm not
stop
saying
it.
Aquaman 1. I'm not saying Aquaman 1's not in my top 5. Maybe 1 or 2. I'm not. I mean, maybe 2 or 3. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Aquaman 2 ain't.
Keith, you the
That's all
same
I'm
person.
saying. Aquaman
Bro,
2 ain't.
you the same one that like Dunkirk. Let's move on, man.
Dun- Dunkirk was
Come on,
great,
man.
and so was Oppenheimer.
Come on.
Oppenheimer is the
I
greatest
haven't,
movie of 2023. Oppenheimer is the best movie.
I haven't saw that one yet, but I'm gonna check it out because it's coming on Peacock soon. I'm gonna check it out.
Yep,
I ain't
check it
paying to
out. And
watch it. I ain't paying to watch it.
you gonna hate that too, but it's the best movie of 2023.
Keith, Keith, ain't nobody talking Dunkirk until like 10 minutes left in the movie.
That's what's your point.
Okay, let's move on to
Listen,
this topic. Let's move on to talk about.
you like Castaway, and he talked to a volleyball for a whole movie.
He talked, and it was entertaining. You like them talking to Wilson.
I did. I love that movie.
Dunkirk, they flying around blowing up stuff and ain't saying nothing.
You hater, bro.
All right, man. Let's move to this subject, man. This Dr. Davis's dad joke. Hey, y'all can rate them if y'all want. Y'all ain't got to rate this one. I can give y'all the rating for these. Hey, I know the rating for these. If y'all give him anything above a 0, y'all tripping. Y'all
Ain't
tripping.
no 0, man. You got to give me something
Y'all
on.
tripping.
Hey, man. Hey, man. My
Hey,
clip get empty, man.
hey, hey,
I did too many a week.
hey. And again, we can tell that your clip is empty with those two, but we can tell, buddy. We can tell. Yep, it's empty.
Hey, it's your boy Dr. Keith from the TuVues podcast. Just want to give y'all a heads up on a new podcast coming out called the Education Playmakers Podcast. My girl Lamisha and my boy DeMarcus gonna bring y'all some educational news, insight, and show y'all how we rock this thing called urban education. So make sure to tune in February 1st to the Education Playmakers Podcast. Once again, my girl Lamisha and my boy DeMarcus gonna give y'all some interesting facts and some questions and some stories about urban education, and we look forward to what they got to bring to y'all. Once again, February 1st, Education Playmakers Podcast. Tune in.
All right, man. Yeah, man. TV's podcast. Y'all know how we like to talk about topics that's important. Um, Also topics that give a little bit of I'm gonna say wisdom, a little bit of clarity and wisdom from our point of view. And today's topic is no different. We're gonna talk about preparing for the future. So like family readiness. I think that's a good thing to start the year off with. Discussing how to prepare our families and our loved ones for anything, especially death and any type of illnesses or hurt and pains, or even just generational wealth and growth. How do we do that? How do we look at that? And how do we build our families and our lives up to a point to where we can feel at ease at where we are as a family and where we are as a people. So let's start off with the most important thing for me is mending fences. I think before you do anything for family readiness, you have to mend your heart. You have to mend the relationship with people that you have broken bridges or torn down fences or created fences and walls against. Now, some family members or some people could have done major things to you, right? Hurt you really bad. Um, but there has to come a point in time where love plays a factor, and you can't grow your family, you can't grow a situation without mending fences. What you think about that, Keith?
So I agree, but I think the key term in this is mending, right? because what Kev G is not saying is to replace the fence, right? He's not saying to put a new board or put a new chain. He's saying mend it. I mean, fix it, put it back together, weld it back together, right? And so even when you weld or fix or mend something, there's still imperfections that show that hurt was there. So no one's. I don't. Tell me if I'm wrong based on what you're saying. This isn't forgetting about it, right? This is more of bringing unity and cohesiveness into a relationship, right? To say these were the wrongs that happened, or this is the situation that separated the fence, and so let's do whatever else. Let's do what's necessary to bring our relationship or our unity back together, and not let that and not whatever tore a hole in our fence or broke the chains, not let that be a factor again. Now that is still that's with any injury that leaves a scar, right? That leaves a remembrance. But in order to move forward in any goal, and I learned this in in a lot of my situations, that in order to proceed in fully in whatever goal direction you want in life, there's some things you have to clean up and mend, right? And sometimes that's with people. And I think it's hard to move forward in a situation, or move forward with goals, or move forward with this life or this next chapter without mending something broken in the past. And I had to do that with my relationships. I had to go back and deal with some daddy issues, right? I had to go back and deal with some internal issues that held me back, and I had to mend that hurt. And so it's essential. You may think you can move forward without mending those fences or mending those relationships, but sometimes it's integral in how you proceed forward. That gap is closed.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. There's always gonna be scars, like anything that gets repaired. Um, some things can get repaired and look just as great as new. Some things get repaired to get stronger. For instance, like an ACL, right? You tear your ACL. Sometimes you can get it repaired and it's stronger than ever. Um, so it so you see the damage, you see the scar, but the strength is solid. It's a solid strength. But another thing about with many relationships and fences is some take time. Some take a little bit of time, right? It's not going to be an overnight thing to where somebody, especially if it depends on how deep the hurt is. Um, that it might take time for you to be able to process letting that person back into your life and ingratiate them in your process and what you have going on. But the point is to start the repairing, right? When you start repairing, it gives you a goal, right? When you start something, it gives you a goal because you want to get to completion. If you never start it, there's not a goal to complete. So the point is to even if it's gonna take time to rebuild something, rebuild a relationship with a family member, or even a friend, um, though it take time, that's okay. It's okay for it to take time. It's okay
Mhm.
for you to be slow about the process and want to make sure that it's going to be what you want and what you expect. So there's nothing wrong with taking time, figuring it out, and having more communication and dialogue with that person. Because I'm thinking about family, man. It's something about some people say blood is thicker than water, but sometimes your family, you have friends and family that friends that are more closer than family. But if you need something physically like a blood transfusion or something like that, probably the best source for you or the most close source for you is going to be family. So
Mhm.
even though there might be this separation, doesn't mean they lack importance to your life. No matter how far you push them, doesn't mean they lack importance in your life in some shape or form. Because obviously you're holding on hate, so they affect you in a negative way. In this point, why not use this
Yeah.
opportunity in this year 2024 to turn that hate or anger or frustration into something positive into something great? Easier said than done, right? Easier said than done.
Mhm.
Again, it's always based on
So
how bad that person hurt you and things like that. Go ahead.
So, and also understand that just because you work on mending fences and or you mend the fence doesn't mean the relationship is going to return to what it was prior to the defect, right? And I always use my neck surgery as a point. You know, reason why I had a ACDF surgery to mend to fuse some column some vertebrae in my neck. It's because I had pain going down to my arm, down my right arm, didn't have any grip, and it was debilitating. It was just debilitating pain that I had. One thing now that I had that fusion, that pain's gone, and I have my grip back, and I'm back doing a lot of stuff that I wasn't able to do prior to that. But I only have my ability to look up and down is limited, right? My ability to go right left is still limited, though I have all my strength in my arm back, right? The repair fixed the problem, but still left me um with limited mobility in my neck, right? And so just because you're mending a fence doesn't mean that that relationship is going to go back to what it was prior, right? It may be strong, it may have a new foundation, it might have a new direction, it may went from a friendship to an associateship, but you're still respectful to one another. But at the end of the day, the damage, the pain and the damage is fixed and healed, but there are going to be um consequences. There are going to be evidence of the pain still available. Like I still have my scar, right? I still have limited mobility in my neck. So it's the same relationships. We may go back to being family, we may go back to being friends, but it may not go back to the level it was prior, and that's okay. But it's important. Mending the relationship is just as important to them as it is to you. Because just like with forgiveness, forgiveness is for you, right? It's you ask for forgiveness, right? And it's the other person's ability to accept or not accept it. But extending the forgiveness is the important part, right? Extending it. And so it's the same thing. It's the same thing with relationships. It may not go, it may or may not go back to what it was. But in order for you to move forward in your life and be more efficient in the things and the goals you set and the things you want to do, you have to attempt to mend those fences. And mending those fences can mean that the relationship doesn't even get restored. Right? You can mend the fence and the relationship never be restored. And that's
Yeah.
okay. You have to be okay with that.
Yeah. Um. So now that we got that out the way, talk about mending fences. Let's get to what this topic really focuses on and really about. This is about preparing for the future, right? Preparing for the future, doing things in order to make sure our family is set up to be in the right way and do and create a generation of greatness, right? So we're gonna start at the level of with taking care of ourselves, right? Especially in our community, we have a big problem with this. When I mean taking care of yourself, is getting those annual checkups, biannual checkups, whatever is necessary. That doctor asks you to have, or to make sure you're in good state. Let's talk about the black community right now. We have a huge problem with that. Now, some people say because our community lacks health care, accessibility health care. Some people could say it's because I believe in natural resources, whatever you want to think. But you have to take time to make sure you're in good standings, right? Being diabetic or pre-diabetic now, I would never know. It took me to having headaches and passing and like almost passing out things like that and just feeling terrible in order to go to my doctor and get checked and get my A1C checked to see that my A1C was like 12, 14 something, super high, right? It took something negative to happen to me in order for me to get checked and see what was really going on. What if we went to our annual screenings every year and we caught things early? We caught cancer early. We caught diabetes early. We catch whatever early to where we can get necessary help to be healthy and stronger for a longer period of time. Go get checked out, people. Don't be afraid of doctors. I hate needles. Even though I got tattoos, I hate needles with a passion. Um, Go to your doctors. Ask questions. Don't let doctors say blah blah blah. Let them know how you feel and what's going on with your body. Communicate with your doctor openly and go get checked out regularly. It is super important, people. It's super important.
Yeah, and go to the doctor is not it's a lot of time we go to the doctor to find out if something's wrong, but going to the doctor is preventative, right? That's the reason why we get blood work to see where our enzymes are, where our proteins are, where our blood is, so that we can make the proper adjustments to be healthy. So we go in thinking like there's something to find a cure or that there's to find something wrong. No, we can go most of your checkups are to be preventative, right? To prevent something from going wrong. And I do want to say, Kev, is that a lot of our fear medically before I even say talk about that, dental health is important too. Dental health is
Absolutely.
important to your to your physical health as well. People don't understand that how issues with your teeth affect your body, how you can get infections and how that can affect your body. How like your teeth are essential to your physical health as well. So that means going to get your regular teeth cleanings as well as going to get your physicals, right? Getting your eye test, getting your teeth test. That's all important. But the problem is, Kevin, is a lot of this is historical, because historically our people had we had a fear of going to see dentists and doctors due to a lot of the studies, a lot of the outcomes that we've had, that our people had going to physical to get physicals and things like that. uh, i.e. the Tuskegee syphilis study, right? And so there's some fear there with some of the tests and studies that have happened with the African American community, and dribbled down. There's been illegal tests done in dental offices with African Americans in our past, and that has created a fear of medical professionals, as well as a lot of us are afraid of needles. I'm weird. I'm afraid of needles, but I have to look at it going in. I'm weird.
You're not
But
panicking on
but understand that this is what I want people to understand about getting your physicals, that fear of the doctor, the fear of the dentist. You can pick your doctors or dentists now. Like in the past, right? You had to go see the local doctor or dentist, right? If I don't like the work this doctor is doing now, I can go find another
it.
doctor. I can find a new CP. I can go find a new doctor. I can find a new dentist. I can go find a new specialist, right? I have the ability to go on to my whoever does my insurance, and I can find doctors specialized in this area and find one with great reviews and go to that doctor based on my insurance. And so go if you have an issue with the doctor, find a doctor or dentist who you feel comfortable with, that shows care for the people. Read the reviews before you go see doctors. See people's experience with those doctors, but don't let that fear stop you from getting that preventative help that you need, both physically and with your dental work. Because that's nothing we don't talk about enough, Kev, is that we got a big dental problem in our community as well. Um, and so um, and so we just need to make sure that we understand that this is all preventative, and don't let that historical fear that has been ingrained stop you from getting the mental health, causing you to live a longer life. Once again, healthy teeth can extend your life as well, people. So we need to get our dental checkup as well.
And ask questions. Just the key thing is ask questions.
Hmm.
If you don't like something, you feel a certain way about something. Ask questions. It's your body. It's your teeth. It's your. Ask the question. Ask the right. And if you don't know the right questions, research it. Ask people. When I go to the doctor, what should I be asking? Women, if you got to get mammograms and all that type of stuff, like ask another woman, like what question should I be asking? What should I be looking for? Like, no, be prepared to ask questions. When you go to place. I know whenever we take Caleb to the doctor, his mom, she has a, she always has a list of questions. She always has questions she's going to ask. And if she doesn't come, she'll send me the questions. Ask these questions when you take Caleb to the doctor, right? So ask the questions. Be ready, prepared. Also, exercise, and eating right. Um, can't even explain to y'all how important this is for everybody in the world. I know there's fad diets, there's exercise routines that can bulk up, slim down. Um, what I would say to people when it comes to exercising and diets is first go to your doctor and annually and get your checkups and figure that out. Ask the doctor those questions about exercising and what eating right. Most hospitals and doctor locations now have a nutritionist part of it, right? They have people that can
Mm-hmm.
actually, when I go in for mine, I'm going to ask them about the nutritionist part of it, so I can make sure I manage my blood sugar and things the correct way. Because sometimes with diabetes, you think you're doing it right, but certain things can also throw you off, and so I want to make sure I'm doing things right, nutritionally. But most doctors now have that a part of it. So at first, ask your doctor, and then if you don't know what to do, everybody wants to go to the internet and see fat diets, fat exercises. It's okay to go to a gym and ask them questions. Go get a train if you want to get a trainer, even for like one session, and say, I just want to learn how to work out effectively. Let them show you the ropes, and then from there you can go on your merry way and do it the way you want to build out, or you can stick with them and learn it and get yourself in the right place. Because one thing I know, me and you were athletes. When I was in my best shape, I had somebody pushing me. I had somebody telling me what to do, right? I had somebody on my back. I also had my twin brother who I was comparing myself to make sure I was on the right track. Also, I make sure I'm doing my grind, I'm looking better than him, right? So I had something that was always pushing me to look to be the part. Um, and I feel like we need to find that. We need to find what are the right things to eat. Everything shouldn't be called a diet. It should be a right way of eating, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
not. You should have to do diets. You have eaten the right way. Everybody say this food bad, this food bad. If you go vegan, you're not getting a protein from me. If you don't go vegan, then you're not. You have to figure out what works for your body. How much protein you need, how much vegetables, how much sugar you can intake, how many carbs. You need to know what works for your body. Not every diet works for everybody. You have to figure that out yourself.
Ken, for both of them, it's easy. It's easy for both exercise and eating, right? It's not how much, it's what, right? It's not how much, it's what. It's not how much you're eating, it's what you're eating, right? You can eat every hour of the day and burn fat and be eating healthy. Like it's not how much. Like people say, I'm not. I'm only going to eat dinner. I'm going to fast, but
Yeah.
I'm only going to eat dinner. It's not about how much you eat. Like it's people who carry around snacks all day and eat and are constantly burning fat, right? It's not about how much you eat. It's about what you eat. Exercise. It's not about how much you lift. It's about what you lift. It's about not how much you exercise. It's about what you exercise, right? And a lot of people don't understand. Like if you do certain exercises, it'll work out your whole body, and your body will burn fat throughout the day. It'll burn calories throughout the day, right? But some people think I'm gonna go bench press 300 pounds, do 3 sets of 10, and that may be good for your body, but that doesn't necessarily, just because you're going up in weight doesn't mean that that that's the exercise that make you the most healthy, right? There's some people who can go in and just lift 115 and do a pyramid lift, and that's constantly getting their muscles burning, and not do a 400, 500 pound lift, right? It's not about how much, it's about you knowing your body. It's about you knowing your body and knowing what to do with your body. Like what exercise, what body parts are you gonna work out this day? What body part are you gonna work out that day? How does that particular exercise assist you with burning calories and strengthen your muscles? And it's about, you have to know your body and not worry about how much, right? There are some time, people do put time limits on some exercises, like 30 minutes of such and such, but it's still about how it's about what, right? I can do 30 minutes of
Technique.
cardio and technique. I can do 30 minutes of cardio walking, like I can do 30 minutes of running on a treadmill. Um, and if you look at the research of running versus walking on a treadmill, you'll see the variances isn't that great, right? So do your research. Like Kevin said, do your research
Yeah,
both
and
on what to eat and what to exercise.
yeah, you can bench press 400 pounds and still be diabetic, right?
That's
Um,
true.
I must shout out Alpha Team, a group I started. We on a journey right now with our sweat operation. Um, and everybody, like we do it sometimes. It's like I can't do this exercise. This ain't gonna work for me. I always tell people modify it. It's okay to
Mm-hmm.
modify the workout, right? Start with modify
Yeah.
what you're doing. Like I got a pinched nerve in my neck, and it always happens when I get shrugged. So guess what? In my own workout that I created, I took shrugs out because it's messing me up, right? So it's modified. But shout out to the Alpha Team, which keep me to get back on because keep been tripping on Alpha Team. But man, back on Alpha Team, we get these workouts. But man, shout out to LGs and everybody that's out there grinding with it. But yeah, man, communicating. And another thing I said about this before I move on is that I'm not saying that other diets and exercise routines are bad. I'm not, because if they work for you,
Do it.
they work. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you
Yeah.
not to do something that works for you. But what I will say is learn what it is before you think, okay, that person looks great because they did this workout or did this diet. Does that work for me? Ask your doctor. I'm thinking about doing this diet or this workout exercise regimen. What do you think about what's going on with me physically? Is this something that I should consider? Talk to a
Hmm.
nutritionist the same way. Is this something I should consider? And they say, yeah, try intermittent fasting. I'm like, okay, cool. Intermittent fasting. I want y'all to be smart about intermittent fasting also. The point of intermittent fasting is you fast. Let me get this right. You fast when you're not working hard or you're not in activity, and you eat when you are in activity. I believe that's how it works. But understand,
Makes
like some people
sense.
go to intermittent fasting and don't understand the concept of how it works, right? So think about it, intermittent fasting. If I'm eating when I'm burning, right, I can burn that stuff, and I'm not eating while I'm not burning that much, right? So I'm burning more fat in my body instead of food I'm intaking. That's the concept, right? So be smart, do your research, and everybody trying to take Ozempic nowadays, which is supposed to be for us diabetics. Hey, I'm not even go down that road or whatever. But there's a wall you hit taking Ozempic. Just letting you know, you hit a wall.
But even
Because
with that, kid, I do want to, but like you said though, if that works for you, it works for you,
it
right?
does.
I don't think you. So if you want to use exhibit, use Majaro, like do it. But and with Govi, whatever those things are, use them. But also, don't let that supplant the exercise and eating right, right,
Actual work, right? Actual work.
right. Because at the end of the day, if you're still eating right or not exercising correctly, it's going to it's going to affect your body in some form or fashion. So how about so use that as an element to go with the exercise and eating right.
Yeah, so like I said, one thing that worked for me when it comes to eating right is with Alpha Team. Sometimes we do, some of us do. We don't. We try not to eat after. We try not to eat a carb after three p.m. Right. So after 3 p.m. is fruit, vegetables, proteins, meats, and like stuff like that. Only carbs you can really intake is like sweet potatoes, complex carbs, right? Um, so that works for me at one point in time. I think it still works for me, right? So that's something that I started doing that works for me. Um, so it may work for you, it may not. Some people on our team not eating that food may work for them, it might not. Learn to
Mm-hmm.
do what's right for your body, right?
Yeah, do
Um,
what's right for your body.
yeah. Let's talk about goal setting. This is a part of like preparing your future and family readiness. One thing, before I go there and stay on health part, you have to stay healthy for your family. It's important to stay healthy
Mm-hmm.
to have a long life. Everybody has to go, but as long as you're here, be healthy so you can run around with your kids and be with your kids and be attentive and things like that, right? Being healthy is key to that. Being in shape is key to that. So I just want to make sure we make that statement too as it ties into this episode. We'll talk about goal setting. Um, and what level of goal setting do you think people should set, right? I know we mentioned here long term and short term goal setting. But what does that actually look like, right? What does that look like in aspect of a person's life?
I think you got to create. I think it's important to set long term and short term goals. Whether that's with exercise, whether that's with money, whether that's with life decisions, whether that's as you want to base it versus like when you want to plan to have something completed and done by, and you got to do both, right? And what I would ask people to do, I think vision boards are great. I think creating vision boards and putting it in a place where you can visually see that vision board every single critical. Put it where you can see it every single day, right? That you can reference it every single day is important about a vision board. But I think you create buckets of goals, right? Where do I want to be in a year financially? Where do I want my family to be in a year? But where do I want my family to be in 5 years? Where do I want my be financially in 5 years? And you create buckets and you set these goals. But when you set a goal, you gotta set your direction to attaining the goal, right? Sometimes we say, I want to be here, I want to be here, I want to be here, but never say what we're going to do to get there, right? You cannot set a goal without setting a path to that goal. You cannot set a goal without setting a path to that goal, because if you do, you're going to forget about it, or you're going to neglect that goal, right? And then 5 years pass, you're like, man, I expected to be here in 5 years. That's because you never set a path to that goal, right? You want to be in a financial position to be to take a trip in a year. So have you set a goal on how much you're going to save each month or each check to get there? You want to set a goal on wanting to be in the profession. Have you set a goal on obtaining the certifications and the degrees and whatever's necessary to get to that place of employment to be where you at? So it's important that regardless your goal is short term or long term, whether that's I want to lose 50 pounds, I want to lose 100 pounds. What is the path for me getting there? And your path is not, let's start with exercising. Your path to getting to a goal with exercise and the weight loss is not to say it does not end that I'm going to get a gym membership. Its foundation should be, this is what I want to lose. Next is, this is the direction I have to go with my body to get there. Next is get the membership and figure out the exercises to get there, right? And so you have to set a path to get to that goal. I can do a vision board all day and put these pictures on this beautiful board and say, this is where I want to be, and look at it every day, but with no path and will have no direction and not achieve not one piece of that vision board. So it's important when you're creating goals, create the path to be successful in those goals. Now that may change over time. Your path may completely change over time. You may realize this exercise is not working for me to obtain a goal. Like I've hit a plateau, so I need to change my work. I may have to go from doing anaerobic activity to aerobic activities, or mixing them up. So those changes in your path can happen at any point, but you have to have a path where you're setting any goal for your life, whether it's financial, physical, family, whatever it is. What's the path to obtainment? What's the path to obtainment?
It, think of it this way: a chain link, right? Each link is important. So each path you set to get to a certain goal is important to the goal. Like going back to the weight thing, if I set a path of 10 pounds, then I want to hit a path goal of 10, and this time I'm gonna do it, and 20, this time I'm gonna do it. What Keith is saying is more you're more liable to complete a goal if you create a path to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you never create a path to it, you're not as I don't know what the word I'm looking for. You're not keen on making that goal. You're not putting yourself in the best position to make the goal. And it's all about timing and thinking the process through. Now, back with the vision board thing, your vision board can be a path. So you can start creating a path instead of saying I want to reach this in 5 years. You create a vision board that shows you how you're gonna create it. It shows you how you're gonna get there. Instead of saying I want to
Mm-hmm.
get there, your vision board can show you, or say this is what I'm gonna take to get to that point. This is what I'm taking to get to that point. I'm just throwing pictures up there and say I did that before. Throwing up pictures, I want to here, 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 here. It's
Mm-hmm.
cool. It's pretty. It's cute. But a lot of those things I had no path to where I wanted to get. So
Yeah.
I agree that we have to create paths in that sense.
Yeah, and Pats limit distractions. Now they don't get rid of distractions, right? There's gonna be distractions, right? I got this. I can go on a diet. I'll go buy a Burger King and it's on the popping with a Whopper with extra onion pickle. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it
Extra.
doesn't.
No onion.
Yeah, bro. But it does, setting past limits distractions too, right? It keeps you laser focused on the goal that you want to obtain. That's not saying that there's not going to be obstacles. It's not going to see that there's not going to be areas where it detract you. That doesn't mean that you're going to get off the path a little bit and have to swerve back on, but it does limit them, right? Because it gives you a direction towards the goal you seek, right? Um, and so you just want to make sure you have something that's acting like blinders, like on a horse. It's the blinders that's keeping you focused and forward. And that's what a path does, right? It gives you, it creates a blinder for you to say, this is my goal. This is my target. That's what I'm trying to achieve. And so I think it's important. You always got to create a path. You know, that's why so many New Year's resolutions fail, because people don't create paths to obtaining them.
Some of y'all already failed, y'all already. After this
That's why I don't
post.
settle no more.
No, I don't need that. I just say this is what I want to do in a year. I don't set a goal. I just say I do exactly what we're talking about. I set a goal and I set a path. I don't create a
Yeah.
resolution. It's not a resolution for me. It's because what I'm also trying to do is create lifestyle. Create a lifestyle. I'm not trying to just change for the current at the moment. I'm trying to create a lifestyle. So that's very key. So this is another section where I really wanted to get into. And I really want to dive into this because it's so important. Is um we talked about before legacy and set up your kids for legacy and generational wealth and curses and wealth. But this part of it, I don't think we really got too deep into. And I think it's important that we do get deep into it. And we're going to talk about death. We're going to talk about death and preparedness for death when it comes to that, especially with our community. I keep saying that, but it's important to talk about it for our community because statistically, when it comes to this area, we're pretty bad. Um, let's talk about the history of our community when it comes to death and readiness for it, and um, how we go about it. So we're in the
Can I give
era
a
of what,
quick?
kid? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Before you get started on that? Can I give a just a historical piece that this is also one of those historical traumas too, right? With the issues with African Americans and the life insurance, and the issues historically with stealing the money from African Americans through life insurance scams back in the early 1900s, and we're really up to the 1980s. And so this is another thing we want to be prepared. We there are a lot of safeguards out there nowadays that were not back then. So this isn't also another historical trauma and historical fear that we have to overcome as a people.
Yeah. So we are in the era of GoFundMe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the GoFundMe era, and I gotta be just plainly honest. It's annoying.
Mm,
It's annoying. I'm not saying not annoying. It's hard to see people have to ask people for money for burials, for funerals, um, when we can do something about it now. Do something about it
mm,
now. Um, so life insurance. He said it's a trauma for black people that we went through. But not like, and there's also resources now that can help us guide us through this process. And life insurance actually as easy as ever been to get right now. Actually, um, but the point is the problem is not taking the steps to do it. Life insurance costs money. It costs dollars to have life insurance. It costs dollars to cover your family in the future. We have to start looking at life insurance as an investment.
mm-hmm.
It has to be started being looked at as an investment for the future. We can't look at life insurance as a bill. Can't be like, oh, I got a budget for this life insurance policy. It's gonna take out my budget. I can't buy no new Jordans. No, It's time to start looking at life insurance as an investment into the future. This is an investment. If you have a 401k, you invest in it every month into your future. You have certain CDs or whatever, you're investing in your future. Life insurance is an investment into your future. So many different styles of life insurance, term, and all those type of life insurance, and there's people that can educate you on what those are. There's death benefits and things like that. Um, and I know some of the documents are hard to read, hard to understand, hard to get. But there's people. I know Eddie Anthony. I was talking to Eddie Anthony. He said he can have people interpret insurance contracts, things like that. So there's people out there that can do it, but it has to start now being looked at as an investment. There's too many people out here that have to beg people for money to bury people or pay off debt for people that pass, and that should not be the case. There's too many resources nowadays um, for us to be able to handle that. Like for instance, if I could talk about me, my life insurance policies. Currently, they're okay. My beneficiary is my son, right? And the way I set up my life insurance policies is that I have enough to cover any debt that would become payable once I die. Because people understand your debt doesn't go away just because you die.
Yes.
It falls on
Need to
somebody
understand
else,
that.
right?
People need to
If
understand that.
it falls on somebody, it doesn't go away. So my life insurance policies are enough to cover my debt, cover any type of burial expenses, and to make sure my son can do something with the proceeds, with what's left. That's how mine is set up. It's set up to give my son a future, pay off debt, and make sure ain't nobody got to do no GoFundMe for me. You not do a GoFundMe for me. We're gonna be okay. There's not gonna be fighting bicker between family over things, and we'll get to that in a second too, like how to stop that process also. There's not gonna be all that stuff. I'm set up my life insurance policy, make sure it's allocated the right way to do the right things. But we have to start educating ourselves on how the steps it takes for us to do that. But the first step is to get a policy. Get a policy at least cover your burial.
At
At
least
least
your
get to
burial.
cover your burial at minimum. Minimum. Now, I'll also say, like I did, cover your debt. And if you have any children, to make sure, especially if they're young, to make sure that they're okay once you go. So that's how mine is set up.
So you just I'm just glad
Let me
you just
charge my
said the
car.
same thing because mine is actually similar to KFG's. Actually identical almost. But it's very important that people understand that your estate falls as a burden or get or a financial um receipt of whoever is a part of your connected to your estate. So if your estate has student loans, mortgage payments, back debt, IRS debt, like that falls on the owner of the estate, which typically is the children. It's very critical that have a life insurance policy that allows your estate to be at minimum at a zero balance. At minimum, put your estate at minimum at a zero. But also, I always say at a minimum enough to take care of your children for a year at minimum,
At minimum.
right? These are minimums, and life insurance isn't that
I'll,
expensive
I'll,
for healthy people.
I'll let you say 5 years.
Yep, and life insurance isn't expensive for healthy people. I know it's harder for us diabetics, and our life, the cost for life insurance for us is diabetics. That it's more, but to your family's already going to be grieving, and to put them at peace financially is important. That's important. So just remember that your estate burden falls on somebody, and typically that is the children. I mean, we
Yep.
don't want to put our children in a situation where they have to mourn us and bury us and be at a financial shortcoming.
Yep. But on top of that, man, another thing that we have is that we have a lot of people when people die, they there's interfamily fighting over assets or whatever, or the other fighting where people just are mad at each other. That's a whole nother topic, whole nother story. We talked about that earlier, man, in relationships. So we're not gonna worry about that. I don't think our sibling our sibling group, us and our sister or brother and sister, I don't think we'll never have no issue with that. I don't think that'll be a problem at all with us when one of us passed. But I'm not looking forward to it. But along with death preparation is to stop the infighting, right? When it comes to assets, things like that. Proper wills are important. Wills are so important. Estate planning is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not hard to do, people. They're just not hard to do. You actually can go get a subscription on Rocket Lawyer right now and create your whole estate planning and will planning on your own if you want to, right? You have to plan out where your assets and things are going. So people are not fighting about, oh, he left the house to me. No, he has a will. He has a will. He has estate
Mm-hmm.
planning. Everything will know where the lawyer, whoever will know where everything is going and where everything needs to go. There is no infighting. Stop the
Mm-hmm.
infighting now. And I know some people like to hide their wills because, some people know what you got. They try to do something to you. Um, but I'm unafraid. I'm not afraid to show my siblings and everybody what my estate planning and will is. Y'all gonna know. I'm not afraid to let y'all know this is how everything is getting broken out. I'm not afraid to show my siblings that, right? But I know it's scary for some people that got millions, millions of
That
dollars. Where
that
it's like, go ahead.
No, because that's what it is. It's a fear to show because they have so much money. But also, Kev, I think the reason why people don't make these decisions because there's also a fear of death. They think when you start bringing up wheels, like it's speeding up
Correct.
the time of your death, and that's not what's happening. It is making sure everything is in place so that they won't be exactly what Kev G is talking about, right? The infighting. It's just simple. It's just like if I talk about our mom for a second, I know I'm the beneficiary, and I know that my mom wants to be buried in Peoria. That's going to happen. There's nothing a cousin, uncle, auntie, brother, sister can say about my mom's wishes because she's made that clear. So what that means is that you got to also have the discussion. I specifically want to speak to beneficiaries. You got to have those talks, right? You gotta have the talks of what do you want. I'm not speeding up your death. I'm not speeding up your timeline. I want to know specifically what me as your beneficiary. What do you want to happen? Right? Let's make it clear and plain what you want to happen, so I can make sure that happens for you. But Kev G, the best way to do it is what you said. Get on Rocket Lawyer and create a wheel. Right?
Create a will, estate
Get
planning.
create this is where I want my estate to go. This is where I want to be buried. This is how I want to be buried. I want to be cremated, or I want to be buried. But write that out in a legal document, get it notarized, and say this is what I want. And you can change your will. You could you later in life you say I have another kid, or I got a new marriage. I can change my will at any point in time while I'm living. And so we can't be afraid to have the discussions because the discussions are going to prevent the infighting. The will is going to prevent the infighting because if somebody don't agree with what your will say, all the first person they can dislike is you, and you gone, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't keep the dissension among family members. Right. I think having the discussion and creating the planning is something we fear because we think it speeds up the timeline, and that's not the purpose of that. If that happens to you, you just have a simple fear of death. It's just that simple. But you got to have these things in order and in place.
Everybody has a time, right? And no matter
Mm-hmm.
where you start your will, when you're 2 or when you're 90, you gonna go when God says it's your time.
Mm-hmm.
I can start my will now, and I don't plan on going for another 50 years.
Yep.
Okay? And as like you said, you could always change it, and you're gonna have to. The longer you stay alive, the more assets you
You're
might
gonna have to
accumulate.
change it.
You're gonna have to make
Right.
changes, but you have to start somewhere. The key thing is start with somebody who's gonna make decisions for you. Like that's the key thing. Like, and if you want to do it a different way, create an estate, and everything goes to the state, and then the estate planner can do what your estate. And a lot of people do it nowadays. They create the state. All the stuff is in the state, and it's a lawyer that divvies things out how it's supposed to go. So a lot of people go that way nowadays because of the infighting, because of the people who think they're entitled to whatever. But that doesn't like start now, man. Like start
Yep.
thinking about it. Start putting it in your mind. And the final thing is like start training your kids the same way. Like prepare them to like to get insurance and to invest and to do things the right way and make sure they do things like go the right direction about certain things, especially with all the stuff I'm talking about with eating right and being healthy and insurance. We shouldn't have to learn that when we get our first salary job or something like that, right? It's something be
Hmm.
somewhere. Oh, I got to sign up for insurance. What do I do? No, it's time for us parents to start teaching our kids about this stuff early.
Yep. And you can't let it. You got to make a decision as a family, as brothers, sisters, or whoever in your immediate family, that it won't break you. Right. That love will always be over greed. Right. That if I don't get something like, and I think the will prevents some of that. Right. Well, you always got to remember, love is always going to be an agreed. Like, if you just want a token of the person who lost, and you just want a piece of, be content with what piece you get. Right? Be content with what piece you get. Be content with the memories. Like for me, I'm be content with the memories, right? But I'm never going to let let greed or selfishness or this idea that I deserve stop break the unity, the bond I have with my brothers and sisters, right? That it's not worth it. But a lot of this is can be prevented with legal documents that say
Stay
this is
planning
where I
your
want
will.
this to go.
Stay planning
So,
your will. And where you keep and don't keep your wills in your house either. Don't keep your will in
hmm
your house. I don't care if you got to get lock box or you got to get a lawyer that hold on to it. Don't keep your will where people are like, oh, I found this will, oh, I found that. Like I see that all the time on movies. Like
hmm
there's multiple wills. No, there's only one. Either one came before another. Like
hmm
all my wills will be dated and signed.
yep.
So that's a process, man. Family readiness, man. Prepare your family for everything. Life in general. This wasn't just
Mhm.
about death. It's about preparing your family for life. Prepare your family longevity and living. Stay healthy. Get insurance. And just be prepared for anything.
Set family goals and individual goals. Family goals, individual goals. All
And
right.
guess
I think
what?
I think you'll be all right.
You'll be all right. The family will be all right. You can stop dissension in its tracks. You got to start now,
Yeah.
though. You can't wait until you're on your last breath to make these decisions. Like, start it now.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's TuVues podcast on family readiness, man. Kevin and Dr. Davis, man. We love y'all, man. We want to see y'all do great things in 2024. We want to see y'all grow and be wonderful men and women of standard and character and have success in everything that y'all do. Everything that y'all do. As long as it's blessed and in the right mind, in the right direction of God's purpose for you. So keep going, keep striving in 2024. And just be great, man. Aim to be great.
Yep. And like Kev G always say, man, check your heart posture at all times. Check your heart in everything you do and everything you say and every act that you commit. Check your heart posture. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure you're doing it with love. Make sure you attacking this new chapter of your life with joy and patience. And man, you're gonna be blessed, man. We all gonna be blessed. I think this is the year where we all get the greatness God has destined for us to have. So, man, go get it. It's yours. Like what they say, Troy, it's yours. Take it. Man, go get everything God got for you. This is the year. This is the time. But do it with the right heart posture.
Same me, different trajectory. I'm going up. Join me. All right,
That's right.
TuVues, hit us up. We love y'all.
All right.
We up out of here, man.
We out.